Thanks, guys. Is this working? Can you hear me? Okay, cool. My wife nodded. That's all I need. Hi, I'm Marcus Vogt. I teach at Draper Park Middle School, which is in Canyons District in Draper. Is it too loud? I feel like I'm yelling. Okay. Can you hear me like if I'm really soft? Okay. So I was Dave Ferris called me and was like, "Hey, dude, could you do a thing on technology and stuff?" And I was like, "Okay, like, cool, yeah, I can do that." As I prepared this, I realized that, like, man, I do use a lot of stuff, and I'm assuming all of you do. Like, I'm not I didn't go to school to learn how to use technology. It's just something that interests me a lot, and so whenever I see a new thing, I like to try it out and see if it's going to work at all. So the way I've kind of designed this is I'm going to talk a little bit about a couple things that I've learned in terms of like principles for using technology in our rehearsal room. And then I have all these like categories, and I kind of want to get your input about this. I was thinking about doing like a Kahoot or something dumb where like everyone get out your phones and vote on what you want. I'm just going to have you raise your hand because there's kind of a lot, and I don't want to talk about stuff that you guys don't want to talk about. So let's just start here. So who am I? I'm Marcus, like I said. I'm at Draper Park Middle School. I did get an endorsement through the district for EdTech. So I have studied a little bit, gone to some classes. I really think that technology is very useful if you use it in a way that helps you, not you helping it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't think we should use technology just because like it's there, or just because it's cool, or just because I want to like show off to my students. I really think that you need to use technology in a way that will support what you're doing so that the music is better, so that the students can play better, that you're engaging with them, you know. So you don't want the tail to wag the dog. By the way, my email, if you want to email me, this entire presentation is up on my website, draperparkmusic.org/edtech. So I probably shouldn't say this, but if you are like really like, oh, I wanted to go to this one, but I also wanted to go to another session, you're gonna get both if you go here. So you can leave if you want right now. Probably shouldn't say that, and I guess I'm gonna have to do this from here. Okay, so these couple principles. And another thing, I'm sure you've seen this. If I get through this with fewer than 10 like glitches, then I'm going to be happy. So like if it's going to happen, so just be cool with it. I'm always bugged by people who like murmur under their breath like, oh well, I guess I'm not going to use this because it didn't work this one time. EdTech in the band and orchestra. So everyone's situation is different. I get that. So my situation is a certain thing. You have a certain thing in your classroom. Some of you have tons of technology. Some of you are in districts or schools that don't have a lot of access to that. I get that. So what I'm going to show you, what I'm going to talk about, may or may not be applicable directly. You might not be able to afford to have 5 computers in your classroom or however many iPads or whatever. But I really think part of using technology is to kind of learn how to twist it and make it work for your situation. So just be patient with yourself. Be patient with what we're using. I guess I'm going to have to push this. Like I said, I think it should serve the rehearsal. It should serve you, not the other way around, which is kind of an oxymoron sometimes, because in order to get to use new technology, you have to experiment with it. So in a way, you do have to use you have to experiment with it, and sometimes it might not be your rehearsal. So most of the stuff I'm going to show you were a train wreck the first time I tried it. And that's just the gig. That's just part of using it. And you just got to be patient with yourself and say, okay, next period, now I know that I need to turn on the sound, or I need to connect to the Wi-Fi, or next time I do this, I need to bring a cable, which is what happened to me today. So, yeah, that's that. I don't think that's new. So I know you've all heard this before. The students that we're working with, they have grown up now with it. Some of my middle school kids have never been in a world without cell phones that are smart. You know, so I think it's not our responsibility necessarily to connect with them on that level, but it's an opportunity, I think, that if we're not at least considering it, we're missing out on a lot of potential ways that we could connect with them. That's all. I'm sure you guys have heard that before. Okay, so I've got several different categories. We might not hit all of them, so I kind of want to hear what you guys would rather talk about. So I've got engaging students online. I've got teacher organization, so things that you use basically just for yourself that the kids never see. Rehearsal tools, so things you would use during the rehearsal. Creating videos, which is, I think, why I was asked to do this one. And then a couple games that are just little games that we could see. So if you could just vote on one, who would want the games? Great, like 3 people. Okay, cool. Creating videos. Okay, what about rehearsal tools? Ooh, okay. Teacher organization. Okay, cool. That's actually one of my favorite ones. Engaging students online. Nice. Okay, so let's go to the rehearsal tools. That's the one that I think we're the most into. So we're going to talk about Google Chrome Desktop, Remote Mouse, Reflector 2, all these. Okay, so this first one is called Chrome Remote Desktop. Has anyone ever heard of this or used it before? Cool. So the reason why I use this is because in my room, so my podium is right here, and the closet that they built for hooking up to the projector is over here. So what I did when I moved into the school is that I like using the computer a lot, and I hate going way over here to turn on the metronome or to do whatever. So I hate going back and forth, which is probably why I'm getting a belly, because I'm not doing that. But so what I do is I have the computer in here in this little cabinet, and then I have this little, kind of like this, but like a little cart that has a wireless keyboard and stuff. So I can control it from right here, podium, that stuff. Okay? The reason why I use the remote desktop, and this is way lazy, my desk is over there. So sometimes I'm sitting at my desk and there's music playing or whatever, or I want to show something, and my laptop is over there. So I have a laptop and then a projector computer. So I put my computer over here, and I don't want to walk all the way over to turn off the music or whatever. Like if a teacher comes in and wants to talk to me and it's too loud or whatever. So I connect to this computer from my laptop using remote desktop. Did that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to try this. We'll see if this works. It is, what time is it right now? Like 9:55? So my students are in class right now with their sub, and they should be watching a video. So I'm going to connect right now to my computer in Draper. Okay, so this is free. I'm not going to show you all the nuts and bolts of how to use it. I'm just going to show you what we do. So enter my PIN. Never. This is what they're currently watching right now. So I've connected. So if I wanted to, I could. I guess it just finished. So they're watching the announcements. So there he goes. The teacher's moving his stuff. So I could go in and mess with it and hello, Mr. Vogt is here. And there's a big part of me that really wants to, but I don't. I'm not going to. So right now the sub is showing a YouTube playlist I made of just cool videos or whatever. I guess this one's a Vic Firth performance. Anyway, so that's the remote desktop. Cool. Like I said, it's free. Okay, the next one is Remote Mouse. This is an app for, I use all Mac stuff, so I don't know anything about Android and PCs. So good luck if you want to use one of those. I don't know if any of this stuff exists for that. It does cost a little money if you want all of the features. What this is, it's just a mouse for your phone. So I'm controlling the computer from my phone right now. So I do this when I'm rehearsing with them, and I have smart music up or whatever, and I don't want to be tied to right here. I don't want to be a slave to being right here. So I can walk around and I have my sticks and I can be helping kids and whatever, and then I can pause it and I can just control the computer from my phone. That's it. But I found this to be extremely beneficial if you use a computer to be able to walk around and not be stuck up here. Okay? By the way, if anyone has any cool ideas of other ways we could use these things, I would love to hear them, because I'm not the supreme master of all knowledge when it comes to each one of these. But But if you have any ideas, let me know. Bix told me about a cool idea we have about this camera I'm going to talk about in a second, about the marching band. And I'm not a marching band person, so it's nice to hear that perspective. Okay, the other one that I'm going to show here, this is called Reflector. They now have a third version, which I've never used. What this is, it's essentially a like AirPlay, where you can mirror your phone or your tablet to your computer without using an Apple TV. Okay, it does cost money. A lot of this stuff costs money, and so you kind of have to decide, like, do I want that money or not? So I'm going to show you this. I think this is cool. So am I connected right now? Oh, sweet. Okay, so this is my phone connected to my computer. So it's basically just AirPlay, and that's it. Except it does do a couple other little things. What is nice is you can hook up more than one. So I've had up to 4 iPads or 4 phones connected up to this all at once, and you can all see. So sometimes we'll play, I don't know, like Ninjenius or just some like game, and I can have up to 4 kids competing, and everyone else can see what's going on, which is just kind of cool. So that's Reflector. I believe it can also record, and there's like a bunch of stuff it does that I've never used, so cool, that's that. And I'm going to turn that off because it's probably using some of my juice. Okay, Audacity. I'm sure you guys have heard of this. It's an old program. Audacity is a, what did I call it? Digital audio editor and recording computer software. I got that definition from Wikipedia because I didn't know how to explain this. But Audacity, it basically, this is what I've used for recording. Like this year we used it for recording like our state auditions, so I used Audacity. So I'll use it for recording. It's free. It's an open source program. So the point is that like all of us together will create a better program by helping each other build it. So it's free, and it works on like PC and the other one that I have here, Mac. I use this. I thought this was a cool thing that we did a couple years ago. So at the end of the year, I'm sure sometimes we play pop music. I do at the end of the year, and we were doing a, what was it? It was Radioactive, Imagine Dragons, and there's a version that I don't know how they got this, but the Pentatonics and Lindsey Sterling have a version online on YouTube, and the arrangement that we had for orchestra was either this was based on the arrangement, or the arrangement was based on this, or both things were coming from the same person. I don't know how, but a bunch of the little licks that she was playing were in the piece we were doing, in the arrangement, and they weren't in the original Imagine Dragons piece. And so I thought it'd be cool, like, what if we played along with it? And so I put it on, and it was in the wrong key. And so I was like, So in front of the kids, I did this. It took about 1 minute. I went on to YouTube. I downloaded the file. I slapped it into Audacity, and I just copied it all and then transposed it right there in front of them. And then like, all right, now it's in the right key. Let's play it. And we played along with the recording. And it was really cool, and the kids loved it. So doing that type of thing, like transposing and doing stuff, it's not really something you do in rehearsal unless you're like me and you're like, this is worth it. I'll do it right now. Another cool thing is, you may have seen this before, but you can put it up on there and you can be playing your piece, and it'll show, like, maybe I should do it right now. Why am I telling you when I have it in front of me? It'll show, like, how loud and soft you're playing. And so you can kind of use, like, a visual, like, here, we need to get softer, see, and blah, blah, blah. And you can, like, have a visual for their dynamics. So let's see. Boop, 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 squeak, boop, 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 boop. So you got louder right there. Anyway, so that's something cool you could do with Audacity. Yes, save those changes. Just kidding. Okay. Cool, I opened that one. All right, so that's Audacity. Finale, I'm sure most of us are familiar with Finale. It's expensive if you don't have one. The educator version, I just looked online, it's $300, $350. What I use this for in rehearsal, I think it's really fun sometimes if you want to do like an arrangement of like a pop tune with my beginning group. So sometimes I'll put up Finale and I'll say, okay guys, let's do our own arrangement of whatever tune you guys want to do. What do you want to do? And it's usually like Star Wars or Harry Potter or something. And so we'll get it up, and then we'll go through the process of like picking the clef and picking the time signature and the key signature and all this stuff. And we can have a discussion about like, why would we do the key of B flat and not the key of B natural? And you can have those discussions. how many measures do we need, all that, and then it creates it. And then what we do is I usually give them the first note, then I say, okay, here's the first note. What's the next note going to be? Like, let's sing it. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Okay, bum, bum. Find that. What's the interval? You can do a bunch of cool teaching, and then you put it in. And if you're quick, like I've gotten a little kind of quick at this. I'll write it out, and they're just like, whoa, because it gets to a point where they get bored of doing it. And so I just kind of finish the phrase for them, and they're just like, whoa. But you can have discussions about rhythm and stuff, and then you just create all the other instruments, copy and paste it, and then like print it, and then within like 10 minutes you have a new little arrangement that they made with your help. So that's kind of a fun little thing you can do with Finale. Obviously, you could do that with any notation software, Sibelius or whatever online that you can find for free. Smart Music, we could spend like a whole conference talking about Smart Music. I don't use it that much with assessment, but I love using Smart Music in the classroom just because I don't know if you guys have this problem, but it's like, okay guys, let's look at this rhythm. 3, 4, 5, and it's like the staff is going like this, and I'm like trying to quickly write in this rhythm or whatever. But if you already have it in Smart Music, like if you're working from a method book or whatever, or a scale, you can just slap it up there and it looks professional, and you don't have to like draw it and it's all ugly. So I use Smart Music a lot in class for that reason. Obviously, there's a metronome and there's a tuner, and you can also like obviously play along with it. So sometimes the kids enjoy playing along with the recording. Depending on the book, some of them are really cheesy, and we always laugh and snigger about how cheesy the accompaniment is. Yeah, Vix.
I don't know, maybe something about it's no longer $140 a year
for the teacher, right? So.
Well, the class is $499 for 50 seats plus 3 teachers, and then you can add on and give us a 5 after that.
This one does still exist, though.
Yeah, it does still exist, but.
Yeah, this is the classic. So you're talking about the online one where it's all online. Yeah.
Great, yeah.
I haven't. Is anyone using that in here, the online version?
It's only $9 a student now.
Yeah.
But the key is, of course, they can only see what you assign them, but you can assign them as much of the library.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's cool. I've heard, maybe you guys can tell me, those of you who raised your hands, like, are you cool with the online version, or has it been like iffy? I'm seeing iffy, hate it, like it. Okay, you like it. I've heard mixed reviews, and the people that I trust a lot have told me that they're like, it's going to be cool once it's up to scratch, but it's still a little buggy, and so they haven't. So check it out. I'm still using the classic version, and I'm sure here in the next couple years, when we all have like implants in our heads and stuff, it'll work better. But anyway, that's Smart Music. Okay, Google Play. Who uses this already? Just like in your life? No? Oh, okay. So this would be like, so Google Play is basically a streaming service. So it's like Spotify or those ones. If you pay for the subscription every month, the $10, you get access to like the world of music, all of it. And the reason why I like this is for 2 reasons. It gives you access to YouTube Red, which means you don't have to watch those stupid advertisements on YouTube. You know when you open it up and then it's like skip, but you have to wait 5 seconds, and it's like the longest 5 seconds in the world. Anyway, so that's one reason. And then also, I've found personally that I have more success uploading my own music to here and having access to my own recordings than Spotify. Spotify, I've had trouble with that, but it might just be me. So the reason why I use it is to put up my own music playlists. So I use these a ton. So I'm going to create a new thing. Up right here, you can see I have I have a tuning playlist. And this is controversial. No one likes this tuning track that I use, but I use this sometimes or often in my beginning orchestra, where it just has all the notes we're going to tune. So it's just like a drone. Tuning my Music 510 playlist for my master's degree. So these are just like a bunch of stuff. So I use playlists a lot. This is what we're currently playing. So I'll sometimes have like pieces that we're currently playing while they're coming in or leaving or whatever. I don't think I really need to talk more about that. Okay, cool. So that's the rehearsal tools. That's all I've prepared for that. What do you guys want to go to next? Woo! Okay. Teacher organization. So I'm just a geek. I love this stuff. So things that help me get more organized. This is what I like to do. And by the way, this is from Jurassic Park. Okay, Scanner Pro. Has anyone used one of these before? It's an online scanner. I love this thing so much. So I'm gonna go to my reflector. Oh, I turned it off, didn't I? Did I? I don't know. I did. Okay, so this is an app for your phone. Basically, it turns your phone into a scanner. And so, hey, that's my first glitch. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to put it, there it is right there. Okay, so what this does, so this is organization, like I said. Does anyone have a piece of paper that they don't mind me scanning? It's okay if I do. Are you sure? Sure. These are Don Peterson's notes, guys. This is intense. Okay, so you just hold it over, and it works so well when people aren't watching. There it goes. Here, you don't mind if I take it, do you? Okay, I'm going to hold it right here. It has to see the edges. Oh, almost had it. There we go. So what it does, it automatically sees the edges and it crops it and changes the contrast, so that now I have his notes. So I use this for. I personally hate paper. Like, I just lose it and it's messy, and I don't like paper. So whenever anyone gives me anything that's paper, usually when they're not looking, I'll just be like, and then I'll just throw it away or recycle it because I don't want it. And so I use this to like go paperless, I guess. The other thing that I do that I'm not going to advertise too much, but copyright is important. We shouldn't make copies of music. That's all I'm going to say. But seriously, what I've done is I have scanned images of all of what we're playing. So if I ever need to make a copy, I just go on my computer and print it off, and it's like done in like 30 seconds. Yeah? Probably. There's like 19 of these. Yep. Each one of these things I'm going to show you has like 1,000 different versions, like different ones that you can get. So if you want to get a free one, look for it. I'm sure it works just as well as this is just what I have. I got it for free because I used to subscribe to this app that it would show you everything every day that used to cost money that now doesn't. And so I always like download a bunch of stuff that usually costs money, but today there's a like a free deal. You don't need to pay for it. Okay, Google Drive. I'm not going to talk a ton about this, but I use Google Drive for everything. So everything is organized in Google Drive. So this is my term 3. I have it organized by like year and then term. This is just where I keep everything. I love Google Drive so much because you can upload things immediately and it's all there, and you can open it up, and obviously they have the like their own editor in there. I'm not going to talk too much about that because I think you guys know about that. Google Slides. So this is how I do lesson planning, kind of, and how I do my agendas. So I use Google Slides. Where did I put it? Here it is. So here's my advanced orchestra. So this Dr. Debchinsky came the other day. So I have like our agenda and the things we're studying and the times. This is good for me so I know when it's over. What I like about doing this is I have each class has its own presentation. And all I do is I just click up here, I copy, paste, change the date, and then I have what we did last class like already up there, so then I can just change the exercise we're doing and the measures and stuff. And it's like so quick. This is just me. I like to have the agenda up on the board because the kids, they like it. And it's good for me to know like what we're doing and stuff. Sometimes I'll put the times even, like I'm going to spend 3 minutes on this and 19 minutes on this. And I always feel like a nerd when I do that, but it feels good to be a nerd. Canvas. Does anyone use Canvas in here? Okay, cool. I'm supposed to. So Canvas, Canvas is, they call it a learning management system, or an LMS. So other examples of Canvas are Blackboard, BrainHoney, Google Classroom, Moodle. There's a lot of different ones. They're hard to explain without going into a lot of detail, but basically it's a way where you can interact with students and make it really personal. Like, you can interact with them in cool ways where they can turn in stuff and you can give them things and announcements. And it does so much. They literally have Canvas conferences that you can go to for several days and learn. I'm not going to talk about everything, but how I use it, my whole district, at Canyons District, we all use it. All the secondary schools use this. So what I love about using Canvas is that all the students already know how to use it, so I don't have to train them. That's one of the most annoying things about using something like this or some sort of new technology is that you have to train the kids how to use it. But with this, they know their passwords, they know how to use it. It's that they know how to do it, which is cool. That doesn't apply to all of you, obviously, because some of you aren't using Canvas or aren't using things like that. But if you, I guess the principle here is, if you're aware of what other teachers are using in terms of technology, sometimes you can piggyback off of what they're doing, and it can save you a lot of time because the kids already know how to do it. Jenny Perkins, right here in the purple, she's in our district. She uses Canvas a lot more than I do. I don't use it as much as she does. But one thing I do use it for is I like to assign videos to them. So what I use is this program called PlayPosit, which I might show you later. It's this thing where you can assign videos to students, and it goes through Canvas, and it'll make it so that you can add questions to the video, and the program will kind of see who has watched it and how much they've watched of it, so that if you assign a video, you're not just like, whoop, I hope they've watched it. You can there's more accountability for them. So I think that's cool because sometimes I'll assign like videos. There's this really cool trumpet player. I want you to pay attention to this, this, and this. And then there'll be questions where it'll interrupt the performance and be like, did you notice that blah, blah, blah? Or you can have like multiple choice questions. All of that stuff goes through Canvas so that, because I've connected them, so they don't have to like learn another program because they're probably overwhelmed with all this stuff that teachers are giving them all the time. So that's my point with this one. Also, they can record themselves and send videos to me, which is really neat. And I know Jenny does a lot of that, but Canvas is cool. Oh, here's PlayPosit. So this is the one I was talking about. I think I have it up here. For assigning videos to students and ensuring that they watch it. Here it is. So here's my PlayPosit account. So I teach a composition class, and I do almost exclusively up here. So I'm just going to pick a random. How about GarageBand Tutorial 5? I have no idea what's on this. It's been so long. So this is what the kid sees. Have we lost audio? Oh, that's fun. That's my second glitch. All right. So anyways, as you're watching it, did I just say anyways? Cool. When they're watching, when you get here to this line right here, can I skip? Woo. You'll interrupt and go, why does Mr. Boat use Firefox for downloading videos using add-ons, blah, blah, blah. So it kind of makes them, they're just silly little questions that keeps them engaged with the recording. I am not sure I want you to read all of those responses, so I'm going to close this as soon as I can. Thank you. Cool. Thanks, Mr. Lehman. Okay, so that's PlayPosit. There's a lot of other versions that do the same thing. Edpuzzle's another one. I used to use Zaption, but they got bought out by another company, and then they just decided to not use it, so it doesn't work anymore. But Edpuzzle, PlayPosit, there's several of them. PlayPosit is the one I used because it's easier for the kids to get on than some of the other ones. They don't have to create usernames and passwords. With PlayPosit, they don't have to do that. Cool, that's PlayPosit. So the next one is Donors Choose. I'm guessing most of you have heard of Donors Choose. Who's heard of Donors Choose in here? Who's done one? Okay. Agree with me or disagree. It's really easy to write a grant with Donors Choose, right? Yeah, I've gotten a lot of stuff through these guys. So basically what it is, if you've never heard of them, it's a website where it connects donors directly with teachers that want to get money, that want to get free stuff. And so I've used this to get, like it says up here, music stands, a nice microphone, which is what we use to record our state auditions, Wanger carts for our chairs, bows, neck straps, iPads. I've gotten 4 iPads using this. Burps, which are those little attachments that you put in your mouthpiece and you can buzz and still hold them. I got a conductor's podium that way, shoulder rests. So basically, you go in, let's see if I've got it up here. So you go in, and it just gives you like prompts on how to create your grant. Because for people who haven't done a grant before, and this was me at least, like the idea of writing a grant seems like so much work, and it's like so hard to me. Dr. Steve Call at BYU, he writes a lot of grants. He was my tuba professor, and he was always talking about all this money he was getting from grants. And to me, as just like a little poopy undergrad, I was like, oh, am I ever going to be able to do that? And it just seemed overwhelming. What's cool about Donors Choose is that it'll give you like little boxes. In 300 words or less, say why, blah, blah, blah. In this one, tell us more about your students, da, da, da. And then it puts it together into this grant. And then you can post it online, Facebook or whatever, and try to get people to donate. What I've found works really well, and I know this is in my situation is going to be different than a lot of people. I teach in Draper, which is Draper, so they've got some money there. I'll send out an email with a link to the grant to the parents of my students, and I'll say, hey, so I'm not asking them for money. I ask them to pass this along to people who do like to support the arts. So I'll say, like, if you know anyone who would like to support band and orchestra in our community, would you please pass this along to them? And I don't know if they actually do that, but I've had several parents who just go ahead and donate. And usually when I send that email out, within a couple hours, the project is funded. I don't do it too often because I don't want to seem like I'm asking for money too much, but it's cool. And then I'm able to, what I try to make sure to do is to go back and show the parents, like, here's what we got. Like, here's videos of the students using it or pictures of the students using whatever it is. So these are different grants I wrote. These chairs need a home and a way to transport. So each one of these paragraphs was like prompted on what to write. And then let's see, there are pictures. Yeah, so here are some pictures of the students like using the chairs so that the donors can see, cool, this is what we used. Yeah? Yes. Yeah. So Chevron does this thing where September 1st, is that what it is? Yeah, there's some time, and they say, okay, starting at midnight at this date, we're just going to go through and just fund as many grants as we can get. And every time I've done it, they've granted me a grant. They've given me a grant. So anyway, that's cool. Yeah, Chevron. And so it's silly now, but sometimes if it's like, am I going to go here or Chevron, and it's on the way, I'll go to Chevron to support them. Okay, that's Donors Choose. This last one is Transcribe. Has anyone heard of this program before, Transcribe? I don't use this a ton, but I have used it, and it's been great. So what this is, it's a program that you download, which nowadays I guess is weird because it's not online. But basically what it is, I don't have one prepared. So you put in like an MP3 of a recording, and then it'll show like the little waveform of it, and you can choose when you want the recording to start and to stop, and then you can slow it down, it helps you transcribe music. So you can slow it down, and so when we did that Lindsey Stirling solo, that Lindsey Stirling thing with Radioactive and stuff, there were a couple kids that wanted to do the solo that she does. And so I told them, okay, go home and learn it. And there were a couple that went home and then they went and transcribed it on their own. Just the traditional way of just listening to it over and over again. What I did, I wanted to do it myself too, so I used this program to kind of slow it down. It just helps you transcribe stuff. And I ended up sharing that with some of the other students that didn't do it, so we could all have her little silly solo that she does. Anyway, it's a cool program. It does cost money.
What's the quality on that when it slows it down?
Pretty good, like 7 quality units. I mean, it works well. I mean, do we want to check it out right now? I don't have a. Okay, well, tell me any tune to steal from YouTube. Radio. Should we just do the pentatonic, the exact same one we were doing? Oh, I've heard this so much. I'm so sick of it. Okay. So I'm not showing you how to be a pirate. There it goes. Guys, this is going to be so worth it. So I'm going to do MP3. Download. I should have done a smaller one. Maybe I should just talk about other stuff. 2 minutes? Yeah, I'll talk about other stuff. Can I come back to this? Or do you really want to wait and watch? Okay. Okay, yeah, this is cool. I'll show it to you. I pressed the wrong button. Okay, let's go to another one. Can I go to creating videos? I'm just going to pick. Is that cool? Okay. So, I'm not like a master at creating videos. Okay, so I watch a lot of YouTube videos like vlogs and stuff. And so I thought it would be fun one day to make like a vlog style video for my students. And so I just tried it. So yeah, let's talk about some tips for YouTube videos. These are just little things I've picked up. Like I said, I'm not like a YouTube master. I don't have like tons of subscriptions and like people subscribing and stuff. But these are tips. So have a clear reason for making the video. Have a reason. Recruiting, inviting public to a concert, teaching students about a certain concept. Good practice habits, for example. So these are reasons why I make the videos. Be quick. I'm not always quick, but it's good to be quick. Make them entertaining. I spend way more time editing than shooting, about a 2-to-1 ratio. So the style of YouTube videos that I make are the ones with the quick cuts. So like every time there's even a split second of me taking a breath or like any downtime at all, I'll cut that out so it goes quicker. I guess I'll show you one. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. It's 3 minutes, but this was one we did for like to review our class rules. I'm just warning. This is stupid. Okay, so just they're dumb. But I'm a middle school teacher.
Had an awesome class. A presentation about rules of Mr. Vote and notes for classes by Mr. Vote and Yoda. Speak or play your instrument when it's your turn. Raise your hand. Listen to others. When Mr. Vote is on the podium, that means silence.
When talking, Mr. Motis, please raise your hand. Raise your hand, you must, or else lightsaber in your face, you might see.
Is this correct, Master Yoda?
Incorrect it is.
Now, gee. Remain grounded. Please stay calm. Keep 4 legs on the floor. Hand things to each other.
Calm, you must stay. Running, you must avoid.
I'm running in Mr. Vote's room, because it's cool. Oh, my spleen.
Okay, I'm not going to show the whole thing. So stupid. Oh, well, thank you. Like, I have several professors from BYU in here watching me, and I'm just like, why didn't I tell them to go somewhere else? Anyway, do you mind if I show you a couple more, like, just little clips? So I don't want to show you the whole thing. This one is one of my favorite ones that I made. So I wanted to talk about practicing, and I tried to make it interesting. So,
hi, I'm Mr. Vote. I'm the band and orchestra director at Draper Park Middle School. I recently discussed practicing with a bunch of different individuals who shared with me some strategies and ways that they found to help them practice. I recorded their responses and wanted to make a little video showing what these people say about how we can practice, so that all of us in our music department can get better.
So you see how they're quick cuts. So I'm trying to get rid of dead space. The other one I wasn't really doing that, but this one I'm trying to get rid of dead space so they're not boring and long, even though this one's 6 minutes.
Here we go. Hi. Yes. My name is Jerry. I play violin pretty good. The way I get good at violin.
Anyway, that's Jerry. Okay, so these are.
My name's Cheryl. I play the clarinet. What I do is when I get home from school, I get out my instrument first thing, and I set it up, and I put it somewhere, ready to go. And then I go and eat something, and I do other stuff. After I'm set up, I go straight in, and since it's already ready, I just start playing it. And then I'm able to practice. It's easy to set up your instrument first, and then when you're ready to practice it.
My name's Sharon. In regards to practice, I remember what a wise man once told me.
There is no such thing as only easy and fast.
Okay, there's the other.
What I do to practice to get better is I focus on things that are difficult for me. I don't focus on things that are easy. I focus on things that are difficult. And I slow them down until they are easy. I have friends who, when they practice, they play the same thing over and over because they're good at it already. That's not going to work. Playing what you already know how to play is practicing. Practicing is when you get better at things that are difficult. That's how you practice. It just irritates me when people think that they're practicing and they're not. Play things that are hard, slow it down, then speed it up again. So when you're practicing, don't waste time. Don't waste time playing things that you're good at. Play things that you suck at, so that you can get better at it. Or else you'll always be mediocre, and you'll never be worth anything.
Thank you. Anyway, so those are fun to make, obviously. So I'm going to show you a couple of the tools I use for creating these stupid videos. One of them is Screencast-O-Matic. Has anyone heard of this one? Yeah. So this is for creating like screenshots of stuff. So it does cost. It's free, but I paid the $18 for the pro version. It's like super easy. I use this for creating tutorials and stuff. Do I have any examples? No. Oh, here's one. So this one, I haven't seen this in like 2 years, so I hope that I'm not being stupid.
Hello, euphonium players. Welcome to your second tutorial video. This one is to prepare for the test, which is number 111.
Okay, I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but so it has my face, obviously, and then later I have it like go small. So I'm like a little talking head somewhere in here. There. So now I'm down at the bottom. And I have smart music behind me, and so I can, in this one, I wanted to zoom in and like show the key signature and like do all this teaching that they would get watching it at home, rather than spending the time in class to talk about specific things to the euphonium. And I used that with Screencast-O-Matic, which was really cool, I thought. This one, Snapchat. So a lot of people who aren't as young as other people might not really be into Snapchat. I'm actually one of those people. Snapchat was the first thing that came out where I'm like, I don't get that. Like the kids these days, that was the first thing that came out. So I don't really use it for like social media reasons. But the way I did all the faces and stuff with the funny people, they're always coming up with new ones. So those are called filters. And let's see where I can find my reflector. Which one was that? Is it on still? Oh, there's my baby. He's cute. Okay, well, I'm just turn it up and hopefully we'll find it. And I'm going to come back to transcribe. I haven't forgot. So Snapchat. Bam. Oh, because it kicked me out. Okay. So I'm back to reflector. Okay. Can you see? Okay, cool. So I'm in Snapchat. So what I use this for are the filters mostly. So I'm going to flip it. Yay! Here's my beautiful face. So you touch it, and then you pick these different filters. Not going to work, I guess. Those of you who are younger, you're like, are you seriously showing how to use Snapchat? Anyway, what was the one? So this was Stan. Hey! So that's Stan. That's how I used him. There was one that was really funny the other day that I saw that we used on our baby. Oh, this one. Hello there. All you need is love. Anyway, and it yeah. So that's how I did that, with Snapchat. Okay. And then this last one, swivel. So that's what this camera is. I don't know if you've noticed. Hopefully it's not annoying you who are sitting by it. But this camera right here, see how it's following me around? I find it comforting sometimes. It's just like, okay, at least I have one ally in the classroom, and it's this little droid right here. But what it does, you've probably noticed it as I've been walking, it tracks me. So I have this little guy right here. It's a microphone, and it's a tracker. So as you're walking around, it'll follow you, so you don't walk out of the frame. So that's basically what it is. It costs like way more money than any of you would probably be willing to spend, The reason why I have it, they had them at the district and you could rent them, you could borrow them. I wrote a grant this year where I'm bringing in a bunch of like different clinicians to come in and work with my students. And part of getting the grant was to try to include as many students as possible. And so I wrote in the grant like, okay, I'll record them, and then I'm going to take those recordings and put them into little bite-sized pieces like of tone quality, the flute, the clarinet, all of them, and then like articulation, and have it organized like that. And so I kind of threw in, because I wanted one of these, I kind of threw it in at the bottom of the grant saying, hey, I also want the $600 camera thing. So that's how I got it. If you're able to get one, they're sweet. Bix was talking about how like maybe in the marching band you could like track one student. Is that what you're saying? And have it like follow that kid. And he was also saying like maybe you could give it to one of the bad kids and like it can like focus on them. But I'm sure those kids are the ones who are going to be like playing with it and like messing with it. So I don't know if it would work. Maybe, I don't know. That's a cool camera. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. I'm just kidding. I'm not actually. I don't know. That's a good question. I've never used it further than just the boundary of my own classroom. Later, we can go check it out, maybe. I don't know. Yeah?
A lot of administrators will be all over buying this for instructional coaching reasons.
Sure.
So you can tell to your administrator, if I want to be reflective in my practice, you can keep it in your office and other teachers can check it out and do it.
Sure.
And you're probably spring for it. It's pretty valuable.
Yeah, for watching yourself conduct, because I'm sure most of us are like this. If you just hang out on the podium the whole time, that's lame. So like you walk around and you're helping kids and you're fixing things and whatever. And if you want to record yourself, it's annoying if your camera is focused up here and then you walk out and then when you're watching your own video, you're like, oh, why didn't I? Okay, skip forward. So it'll follow you and stuff. I use it also when I bring in like guest conductors and stuff, because sometimes they'll walk around. And so it'll show them. What's nice about it, like I said, it has the microphone, so you get a relatively decent recording of their voice rather than like the echoey recording from in the back. I feel like I'm advertising. You should, yeah. For only 19 payments of $1,000 each, you can. Okay, should we check out this transcribe thing? I've got 10 minutes left. Okay, so here's transcribe. Here's the, MP4? Didn't I say MP3? Oh, well, that's fun. Oh, it still worked. No, it didn't. Yes, it did. Let's see. So this is pentatonics, like. Yeah, I don't remember where the solo was. So let's just find any spot, I guess. Okay, cool. So you just kind of find the spot you want, which this isn't the best spot, but how about right here? Okay, so that's the solo, I think. Yeah, so let's say you just want to do this section. So I just grabbed and drug. I grabbed and dragged. Press play. So it'll loop it. That's going to get old. Okay, and then you can slow it down. I think it's right here. Let's go to 72. Like, it's not perfect, but for transcribing, I think it works great. I usually just use my instruments to figure it out, but like you could use this handy keyboard provided, but I just use my instrument. Does that work? Is there anything else you want to see? Yeah, it's cool. Show me where you're pointing. Right here? Oh, yeah, let's try it. See, I'm not the master of this. I don't know every single feature it does. It's kind of cool if you want to change the key. Yeah, anything else anyone wants to see? I could push any of these buttons for you. Okay. Yeah. What's that? A piano roll. I don't know what you mean by a piano roll, but I will move on, like you said. Cool. Well, we've got like 7 minutes left. So what's left? Creating videos, games. Okay. So I put games at the end because these aren't always. Look, you're not going to do this a lot, but Ningenius, Tenuto, Staff Wars, and Heads Up. Okay, so Ningenius, created by our own Curtis Winters from Orem and his brother, right? Who's seen this before? Yeah, a lot of you. It's pretty rad. I use this mostly when kids forget their instrument. I give this to them and say, okay, you're playing this the whole time. And they're like excited at first, but after about 15 minutes, they're like, do I still have to play this? Yes. Bring your instrument next time. So instead of like a worksheet or just having them sit there, or I don't know. Not all of you would agree with that practice, I guess. But let's get this going on. That was a weird way to say that. I'm going to go to Ningenius. Okay, so you're a ninja and you're a genius. I'm going to pick an instrument. Let's be I don't want to be French horn. Let's be the clarinet. Yeah, well, bassoon would be good for me. There is music that goes to it, but so they'll show you the note, and then you just put the fingering. So they're practicing the fingering. So let's open. That's that one. Okay, so after so much time, they get bonuses for being quick and like accurate. And so at the end, they get like a black belt or a yellow belt or whatever. So it's kind of fun. You can also do the note name one. Yes, that's me. So it'll just show you the note, and you got to pick what the name is, whatever. This rhythm one, I've actually never tried. Here's the first time I have ever tried this. I don't know how to do it, so cool. It's a sweet game. It costs a couple bucks, but I think rather than giving them like a worksheet, I think these are more engaging than like a worksheet of stupid, lame stuff. No, I have iPads, so I have like 5 iPads in the front of the room, and I just grab one and say, here you go. And I lock it. Do you guys know how to do the guided access? Maybe I'll show you that to you real quick. Yeah, Paul.
One thing I use is I have 6 iPads, and so I have one student who I call my Ningenius star, and so he or she will, at the beginning of each class, just pass the iPads down each row, and the kids will play it, they get to play it twice, and then they hand it on.
Cool.
It's a good way for the kids, especially my beginners, to review the fingering. And it has several levels. You get to the advanced level, and it's challenging even for you both advanced players, especially if you're teaching junior time.
Yeah.
So every kid ends up playing it several times during the course of the term, but it just passes around. So
Yeah. I want to use it more. I just haven't. I do use it here and there. Another thing that I use a lot with are when kids switch instruments, and I just don't have time to like teach them every single little thing. They're usually smart enough to figure it out, so I give them this and they can kind of review. So I say to put them on their stand and like, while I'm talking to the clarinets, go ahead and play that game. So they're not just sitting there picking their nose and whatever. Questions or comments? Yeah.
So is that $15.99 for every iPad that you play?
No, that's for like the pro I'm a teacher version. So you can tell kids to go home and download it for how much? It's like $3.99 for the kid to get their one instrument.
If you have more than like a whole class of iPads, like over a certain number of licenses, it's like half off. So if you have like 30 iPads, you can get.
Okay, cool. So yeah, this price that I had up there is like if you're the teacher and you want access to every single instrument. But if you want to say, okay, you Jimmy kid, go home and get it on your phone, it's like $4.99 or $3.99, whatever it was. Yeah. Chris.
One of the recent updates is you can make custom sets now. So if you're in your beginning class and they only know 4 notes, you can just put those 4 notes only in there and then eliminate all the other notes they don't know yet.
Oh, cool.
And you use the data, so when your administrator is talking about data, you can pull some data from that as well.
Nice.
And then what she was asking, you know, like in your case, you have, 4 iPads, and they're all in the same Apple ID.
Mm-hmm.
So you can share that app between your Apple ID through all of those. So he only has to buy the Apple one.
Yeah. What I do, let me show you this real quick. So what I usually do with kids, especially the ones where I'm like, I don't want them messing around on the iPad. You can set this up. You triple click on your home screen. This is just a Mac thing. Guided access is where you lock it to one program. or one app. So now I can't get out of this. The kid can't get out and go to something else unless they have the the password to get out of it. So to do that, you go into your settings, general accessibility, and then you go to the guided access. If you want me to, I can show you later. I'm not going to tell the whole class. The whole class. You guys are my class now. Cool. Okay, let me show you a couple more. Tenuto. This is based on the musictheory.net website, which I used a ton as an undergrad, like in 2003 and 4 and 5 and 6. They have this app that is awesome. It's not really a game, but it is. I use this sometimes when I'm in church and it's boring, and I want to review the viola clef, like the alto clef. So you can do a ton with it. I don't use it all. What I use this is when I want kids to like drill note names. Like, you don't know your note names? Have this. You have 10 minutes. I want 500 correct or whatever, and they just go through and they play it. See, that one is a D. Oh, good. That's Tenuto. It's another cool app. I got 2 more, and I think I'm going to be done today. This one I only found about last week at a collaboration thing. This is called Staff Wars. This is freaking cool, I think. It's only $1. So that's one of the coolest things. It's so cheap. So I'll just show you. So let's pick. Nope, go back. Is it showing you everything I'm doing? Yeah. Okay, so let's say we're going to do, I don't know. Let's just do violin, D major. Okay, you pick your clef. Okay, and what it does is it shows them a note, and they have to play it. And then it'll like shoot it down. Does anyone have perfect pitch in here? See, I don't have an instrument. But it'll go through, and and it gets faster and faster, so they have to like play along. So it's kind of like smart music in a way, where it grades you as you go. Yeah, Jenny.
Well, so I used it after the same collaboration meeting, and if they're even a little bit out of tune, it doesn't register it.
Yeah.
It's awesome, and it freaks my kids out. They're like, I know I played it right. And I'm like, no, you aren't. And it was awesome. And then it's even really picky about different instruments. Like trying to sing it, you won't get the right note because you have to be playing that specific instrument.
Cool. I did just this little video. We were doing a competition in the percussion class. And they all had one. I had 3 up. And then I used reflector and put it all on the board so the kids could see. And then when we first started, I was doing it this way, where there's one kid doing it and the other ones were like saying it. Anyway, they love it because there's levels and it gets harder and whatever, and so it's cool. It's $1. It's not going to change your teaching, but it's fun for $1. Yeah.
Key signatures in there? Does it already have that?
Yeah, you pick the key signature you want. Yeah, you can pick keys and the range, and it's pretty cool. All I wish that it could do is I wish you could write in like, I want them to learn Ode to Joy, all right? Like I wish it would give them a melody rather than just random notes. But I'm sure in the next few years there'll be stuff like that. But anyway, thank you so much for coming. I love technology. I hope that you're able to find something that will help you teach better your students. And thank you so much for coming.